Alright guys, welcome back to another Moomoo portfolio update video. So hope you had a fantastic Happy New Year celebration. Today is the 2nd of January 2026 and we're going to be doing a quick recap of what happened in 2025 in terms of performance. And then we're going to see what we're going to be buying today, right? So when we take a look at 2025, even though this account only started on the 18th of February, you can see our max drawdown here was what? 11%, while the Nasdaq was down 24%, and we ended at a 35.7% performance, while the Nasdaq ended the year at a 16% performance, right? So overall, what's my feelings regarding the performance? I think the performance is extremely good, right? Considering that when the Nasdaq fell, we basically fell half of what the Nasdaq fell, and when the Nasdaq went up, we basically doubled the performance of the Nasdaq, right? So going forward, do I expect to continue to do this kind of sharp ratio and this kind of outperformance? My answer is probably no, but we'll see how it goes, right? If we do continue to do this, then yeah, good on us, right? Pat ourselves on the back. This is a very good performance, right? But definitely this isn't my base case. I'm not going to say every time the Nasdaq falls, I'm going to fall like half of the Nasdaq, and every time the Nasdaq goes up, I'm going to double the Nasdaq's performance, right? Because if you take a look at mid-November here, you can see there was one time where the portfolio was up about 50%, I think. Yeah, almost 50%. And we dropped all the way to only a 26% return. After that, we climbed back up to a 35% return, right? So am I upset that the portfolio, it didn't end the year at an all-time high or something like that? Not really, right? Because this is a long-term investment portfolio. And I think we can already see the fruits of our labor in some of the results, right? So what's the theme for 2026, right? Obviously, at this point in time, we don't know, right? It's not very obvious to me yet because the data center plays and also the chip plays. I feel like they're a bit overextended. Doesn't mean you can't trade them because there's a lot of momentum in them. Right? But for investment portfolio, you might not want to include them, right? So what am I buying today? I'm actually going to add Micron to the portfolio today, right? So you have to bear in mind, this is one of my smaller portfolios, right? Because in my larger portfolios, I've already had Micron as an existing position for a bit of time now. So this is not exactly on my cost basis, right? Actually, my cost basis is a bit lower than this, right? But overall, I still feel like there's a bit more upside with this Micron rally, and this will be more of a trade, right? As I mentioned just now. This will be something that I'm looking to get out of maybe in the next 6 to 12 months, right? Not something that I'll be holding for years and years, right? So yeah, overall still pretty happy with this portfolio, although I am thinking to cut down a few names, right? Maybe have like 8 or 7 names in the portfolio, right? Just to prove the point that you don't need so many stocks in your portfolio, right? So obviously I'm not saying 12 names is too many stocks or whatever it is, right? Everyone has to see what they're comfortable with, right? But I found myself to be more comfortable with something in the range of 5 to 10, right? Because I just feel like this allows me more time to research, concentrate on these stocks, and then also research some new things to add in the portfolio, right? I've realized when I go above 10, right, I tend to lose focus. There's too many things to keep track on because these are also 10 companies in mostly different industries, right? So it's a bit hard to keep track on, right? So maybe this year we'll try to target something like 8 stocks in the portfolio or something like that. But at this current point in time, I find it very hard to reduce positions, right? I really don't know which one of these names to sell at this point in time, right? So yeah, with that being said, that's about all I wanted to share this video. If you did enjoy the video, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button. With that being said, have a fantastic day ahead and peace out.